Good morning. It is Monday, June 22nd, 2020. I'm Keith Tebow. Thank you for joining us on this Monday morning. Hope you had a great weekend, a great Father's Day for those fathers out there, and another week of news and information here on FRC Media. Late last week, the city of Fall River was notified that it will be the state's 50th cultural district. What does that mean? I'm joined right now by the two people who are really instrumental in making this all happen for the city of Fall River. They are the co-founders of the Creative Arts Network, Dave and Sandy Dennis. Dave and Sandy, how are you? Welcome.
Hi,
Good.
Keith.
Good morning.
Thank you. Doing good.
A lot has been talked about for a while about the city improving its arts and culture. You and the Creative Arts Network have been really a big spearhead through all this. First, talk about what does it mean to be a cultural district in Massachusetts, and what are the benefits to it?
So the cultural districts actually are supported by the legislature a number of years ago, and it's written in statute, and it allows Mass Cultural Council to designate certain areas in the city as cultural districts. And along with the cultural district come a lot of benefits, in particular economic benefits, priority support for arts and culture, grant opportunities. Tax benefits. There's an awful lot that goes with a cultural district. It isn't just a designation. It's not it isn't just a sort of empty designation. It really has some real tangible advantages, which is why there are 50 of them now. We happen to be the 50th in the Commonwealth, and they're very well supported by state statute, and also obviously the agency that does all the work, which is of course Mass Cultural Council. So we're particularly pleased for the city. It was a 5-year odyssey trying to get this. I think it was 9, as I think back. So it was a 9-year odyssey trying to get this all done. A little circuitous throughout the years. It was started and stopped for a variety of different reasons. But we're extremely happy for the city. I think once you see the development on the waterfront begin with the Route 79 project, a lot of developers and other folks, arts and cultural organizations, are going to be able to take advantage of the many benefits that a cultural district now provides for the waterfront in the city of Fall River.
Sandy, let me ask you, now the district is not obviously the entire city, it's just a portion of the city. If you could visually and describe a map of where that would be in the city, where is this cultural district?
Okay, it starts at Commonwealth Landing. It goes all along the boardwalk and the waterfront, all the way down to Center Street, along Water Street. It incorporates that small complex of mills where you have the Narrows. It stops at Route 79, then it goes all the way down Ferry, stops at the Marina, and then it goes all of Columbia Street. So it stops at South Main and it stops at Broadway. So it's a good sized district, and it's called the Waterfront Cultural District because most of it is on the waterfront.
Now, both of you, as I said earlier, have been really involved in spearheading this and, trying to improve the culture and arts scene here in Fall River. In the short term, how will this impact what you have already done with Creative Arts Network? Or will it be more of the same until, unfortunately, the pandemic lifts and we're able to do a lot more in terms of gathering of people in the city?
Well, basically, we're supposed to have a celebration, but we can't have that celebration, as MCC said, until the restrictions are lifted with COVID. But in the meantime, we still are very busy. As you know, we are working on the hydrangea project, which is all cultural with the flower. So we're working at this point, because we can't do events because of social distancing and COVID, we are targeted areas to plant hydrangeas along the waterfront. We'll be meeting with the management team because there is a management team for the cultural district. It was implemented during the planning process of the district, talking to the stakeholders about planting hydrangeas on their properties. We are working to put a cultural district brochure together. Creative Arts Network is funding that. We're working with DCR Heritage State Park on a cultural district walking tour. So we are actually busy doing non-event things to help with the cultural district. We've already applied for a grant through MCC. The minute we got the vote that it was approved, I hit the button to submit grant, and we'll have wayfaring signs. That's mandatory. The design's already been selected for the wayfaring sign. So a lot of work is still being done, even though we can't do events, Keith.
Yeah. Now, is there any requirement in terms of the city, be it the city government or some other governmental entity, to sort of spearhead the cultural district because it's tied to the state, or is it just organizations like yourself can sort of take the lead? How does that work, I guess, in terms of the bureaucracy of it all?
Yeah, within the requirements, within the statute, it's required that each cultural district have what they refer to as a management team. Management team is typically made up of organizations that are in the district that are affected by the district, and so we've already organized that. We already have a list of individuals who will participate, and we're looking. Creative Arts Network will be the managing partner for that for a couple of years to get it going, and it's essentially it's that group's responsibility to keep the district going, organize it, and support it and encourage development of the district. So it really does. It isn't really a governmental organization. It's really it's really private. I mean, it could be. The city certainly can get involved, but right now it's organized as a sort of a public-private management organization. So, and that's typically the way they're done in the Commonwealth.
And what we'll do is we'll have close contact with the mayor's office as far as making sure that the administration is updated on what's happening in that cultural district. The mayor's office has supported it. We will be meeting with the mayor to sign the memorandum of understanding, where Creative Arts Network will be the managing entity of the cultural district.
Now, a lot of people will hear cultural district, and a lot of people may even know of the great work you've done over the past few years in the Creative Arts Network and bringing events to the waterfront and events to the Purchase Street area and other parts of downtown. But what is the potential, I guess, for people that they may see, again, when the pandemic is over and we're back to whatever that new normal is going to be? What is the potential of what could happen under this cultural district designation?
Well, I think what you're going to see is an increase in activity on the waterfront and a lot more coordination of activity. One of the things that, at least in our particular case on the waterfront, there hasn't been a lot of coordination between organizations. This is going to be, there are some requirements that that happens through the management organization. So as an example, a lot of the other events that go on down there are usually put on by individual organizations and sponsored by individual organizations. And to a certain extent that will happen, but a lot more activity will be coordinated by the management team that's required by the to run these districts. So I think that's what you'll see. Hopefully you'll see more cooperation, collaboration, and partnering on the waterfront, which is something that the city's really needed for a number of years. It's something that people have worked at for a long time, but it hasn't always happened. So I think this is the perfect vehicle to make that happen. Again, and there are other, as I said, I can't stress that there are other benefits too. There are tax credits and all sorts of other things that go along with the designation. So it's really going to support not only arts and culture, but it'll also support and encourage business development on that waterfront, which will coincide perfectly with the development of Route 70, the redevelopment of Route 79 on that waterfront.
Yeah, I know that a lot of people may not look at art as a driver of economic development, but this is one step, right, Dave and Sandy, that this may spur that economic development that the city's been looking for on the waterfront for quite some time, right?
Yeah, I think that people don't realize that arts, culture, and tourism is about a $3 billion industry in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. So there's a lot of money attached to it. Unfortunately, Fall River hasn't always been at the forefront of taking advantage of arts, culture, and tourism and the economic benefits. So now this is a real opportunity to do that in a coordinated way where we've never been able to do that before. And also, again, under the new Mass Cultural District. So we're excited about it, and it is a big benefit for the city. It's a big deal.
Sandy, let me just ask you, getting back to some of the work being done by the Creative Arts Network, we talked to the two of you back in, I believe it was the end of April.
Mhm.
We were talking about Art Week
Yes.
across the Commonwealth and the virtual events that you had. First of all, how did that turn out? And I guess what kind of events are you planning for Creative Arts Network in the short term?
Actually, we probably had the best art week we've ever had. And it was virtual. We had a lot more artists. We had different artists participate. What was nice is that we were able to infuse some money into the art industry because we were able to pay all of the artists that participated in Art Week. So it was a huge success for us this year, and everything was virtual. We had things from cooking demonstrations to puppet shows to art classes, poet reading, concerts. So we had a wide range and a good variety of events for Art Week. Not sure how we're going to handle events. This was our huge weekend. This was our Block Island Ferry Dinner Tours and Music Festival that obviously we didn't have this year because we couldn't. We're trying to figure out how and if we can even do events for the summer, and it doesn't like we will be doing events. So we'll be doing a lot of other things. We did do a survey, a post-COVID-19 survey, to kind of get a feel from the community on what they're looking for as far as art and culture, especially with the pandemic that's happening, and what levels of safety they would be comfortable attending events, if it would be more outdoor events or indoor events. So we encourage everyone to go up on our website and take that survey so that we can share it with the community and the administration. So there'll be some kind of planning and direction on art and culture and even tourism and economic development, because we do ask a lot of questions. There's 27, 26 questions that we ask on our survey. But we're doing a lot of that type of stuff right now. Obviously, we'll be doing a lot with hydrangeas Thursday. Ourselves, David Lalima, will be doing the plantings of the hydrangeas around Government Center. People Inc. has stepped up to the plate again this year, so Old 2nd Street will be lined with hydrangeas. We're working on planting hydrangeas throughout the waterfront in different locations as well. So visually, you'll start to see that type of thing happening right now.
Yeah.
Not sure what direction we're going with events, Keith.
Well, but in the meantime, you're going to be busy with a new cultural district, so that's always good news.
Absolutely. Yeah, we'll be doing the brochure. We've got the cultural tourism map. That's all done. We've been able to distribute them because of COVID, but they are available, and people can, we can drop them off probably at places at least.
Right. Well, Dave and Sandy Dennis, I appreciate your time as always. Congratulations on the great work you've been doing for arts and culture in Fall River, and we'll talk again soon. Thank you.
And thank you, Keith.
And I want to thank you for joining us today, as you have faithfully throughout the past 13 plus weeks. We've been away for COVID-19, and for FRC Media, I'm Keith Tebow. We hope to talk again soon. And until next time, have a great day.